and we're hitting the ground running here. Everybody's very, very busy.
Yeah, it's incredible, really, how we're really we're just hitting 3 weeks in the beginning of 2021, and it's like we had some clients make offers on a couple of places this week, and the numbers showing up to make offers only 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks into the start of the year are pretty hefty. Oh,
Yeah.
what anecdotal stories do you have to tell us about that, Haley?
We made an offer on, well, first of all, I'd say that we've had a lot of buyer activity. Just, I think overall, the colleagues I've spoken to recently, just a ton of buyers coming into the process, and not enough inventory to catch up as per usual. We made an offer on a property, a single family home in Excelsior, which was pretty special. They got basically 11 offers, went over 200 over asking. And that was pretty
And it
crazy.
didn't seem like it was very underpriced in the first place either.
It wasn't. And we know that because there was a cluster around the price that we valued it at.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went gangbusters. And then
Into the stratosphere.
yeah, another one in Miraloma Park got 15 offers. That went over 300,000 over asking. And a lot of people on both of these properties were up near the top offer. It's not like one buyer on each went crazy. There were multiple people who made really high
up there.
offers, and over half of these offers, from what I'm told, were non-contingent, meaning
Crazy.
just total
all in. And then what about condos, which has been a pain spot?
So
going towards the end, a good spot for buyers, but wasn't a great spot for sellers.
well, in the smaller buildings, they're still going into contract within 2 weeks, in my opinion. Like, I was just talking to some colleagues that one of them went after a TIC in like Nob Hill or thereabouts. That went into contract in less than a week, a TIC. Another off-market condo scooped up. There's a ton of preemptive offering happening, and we can talk about that in a second. But I think I do have a colleague who does mostly or a lot of inventory in a lot of sales in Soma and South Beach and Mission Bay, and in the big buildings, they're still having a hard time.
The bigger buildings, so elevators, higher HOA dues, and amenities, great amenities that are all closed.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody wants to share an elevator. Nobody wants to pay for facilities that they can't use.
Right. So, and then the preempting. So, it's tough to even get in to see a property because we have to coordinate, the listing agent schedule, the buyer schedule, our schedule, and then, it has to be available, and we're trying to time everything, and everything's one at a time.
And every window is 30 minutes or 15 minutes.
So it's tough to even get into see property at the moment. I think we'll figure it out. I think that hopefully agents will do shorter windows so that, you don't need a full hour necessarily at a property. But there's
because most people have availability in the same windows, right? There's the a lot of people want to do it afternoons, early evenings. Yeah.
Time. Yeah, so there's that, and then there's just buyers who are just going in before the offer date, preempting the offer date. And that can go like a couple of different ways. One of the offers that we made this week, that seller did receive a preemptive offer, but the agent is wonderful. And the agent and the seller, or he encouraged the seller to be fair to everybody else who had already seen the property and intended to offer, or had not even gotten a chance to see the property, and gave them the opportunity to, he basically said to the preemptive offer, like, listen, that's a great offer. Please, politely come back and make this offer if you'd like again on the offer date. Respect what we've asked you to do.
And Was it fairly close? Like how far away from the offer date was the preemptive?
I was like 4 days.
4 days.
So
So right up on top of it.
yeah, and like that is so amazing and appreciated from a buyer standpoint when a listing agent will do that and encourage the seller to give everybody an opportunity. That was the case before COVID, when we had open houses and everything, but it's especially the case now where, we can't, we shouldn't punish a buyer just because they can't get in for an appointment.
Yeah.
So, and from a seller standpoint, you could be, if you take that preemptive offer, you could be leaving money on the table,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
So, I know we make it a practice to try to encourage our sellers to respect the
The
offer date
process.
set.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, but sometimes it
Well,
doesn't
there's,
work that way.
yeah, and there's, you gotta, the people preempting have an agenda too. So
Hmm.
as a seller, you gotta consider what is that agenda and does it match with mine?
Yeah.
So, and sometimes, if it is a ridiculously high number, the seller, yeah, they let them have it. The sellers, they're going to jump on it. So
Well, and the other thing is, I think we've been doing a lot of educating around contingencies because we know if you are submitting a preemptive offer to be compelling and to, appeal to the seller and make them want to take it off the market before they said they were taking offers, really has to be non-contingent most of the time for them to want to take that. They want a sure thing, pretty much, or the closest to a sure thing that they can get. Um, and so, there's what is always in existence in our market, but maybe heightened right now, a pressure to go non-contingent, and that's just not necessarily everybody's path. I mean,
yeah,
it's totally fair for somebody to want to keep their financing or inspection contingency, and they should have the right to do that. It's just, there's a lot of people who are just need to get a house now, and
yeah.
they're rolling the dice.
And I think based on the pipeline for what we're working on and the listings that we're kind of prepping and getting ready to bring out to market, there's a good chunk of inventory coming down the pike.
Mhm.
So, whenever you get a year that starts out with this kind of heightened activity where you get these, fresh new buyers in the marketplace who are, new, not, kind of some of them acting kind of in an impatient way because there's not a lot of inventory. Um, the fear is always, and we've had years in the past where the inventory just doesn't show up until months later, and it makes it messy and kind of mayhemy at this time. But everything we're worried there is, and all our colleagues that we're talking to, everybody's kind of bringing a nice clip of inventory into what seems like a market that's kind of ready and hungry for it. So so that bodes well for kind of what things will be like as far as a pretty, a clip, an active clip as things move into the spring and summer.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it's easy to get caught up and feel the sense of urgency when this happens at the beginning of the year. And it's important to just like continue on the pace that feels comfortable for you because, um, those people are maybe furiously going after properties for reasons that, we don't know about. And we don't want to just because we're afraid that we're not going to see something else, like go after this thing. And we just have to be really careful about gauging how much do we really love this house and how much is the right value for us, not necessarily what has to win it.
yeah,
So
because it's not, uh, yes, winning, it's not always about winning,
yeah,
because that doesn't make sense, but it does make sense because sometimes you can win and be the loser. So
yeah. Well, sometimes you can win and then be like, wait, what did I do? Because I just got caught up in this
yeah,
fury of 15 other buyers and I knew what I had to do to get it. And now what? And so it's just important for us to make sure that like, if you're a 10 out of 10, you're making a 10 out of 10 offer, but if not, you're not.
you're not.
So that's
And
a
it's
important conversation we have with everybody.
and the North Star we like to follow is you make your money the day you buy it, not the day you sell it.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
gotta you
Smart.
gotta buy it right.
not rushed.
So tell us, what do the numbers tell us? What are we looking at? We're seeing for months now, every week, what's coming in single families is what's going out the door in single families.
Yeah.
What do those numbers look like?
Right on the money is the average 60 single family homes came on this week, came on the market in San Francisco, 87 condos and 20 TICs. So, similar to what we've been seeing, over 100 for those, and 15 multi-units came on the market, still pretty on the average.
On the average, yeah, it seems to be 10 in that teens, kind of 10 to 10 20, to 14 to 15 to 20. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, so 60 new single families and 42 went pending or contingent.
In this week, contingent. So basically 42 went into contract this week.
Yep. And 34 closed.
34 closed. And I think the drop in the number, because with the single families, we're in the third week of January. So these would have more than likely been properties that went into contract right around Christmas.
Right.
Or thereabouts, or that week from Christmas to New Year's, which is not many.
Yeah. And then let's see, 86 condos went pending or contingent, which is actually pretty awesome since 87 came on.
Wow.
And 10 TICs went pending or contingent, and 11 multi-units went pending or contingent. And then 15 multi-units closed, so 15 in, 15 out. We said 34 closed on single families, 44 condos closed, and 8 TICs closed.
So here we are, third week of January, and going into at the end of December on single families, what was coming in the door was getting sold. Mm-hmm. On condos, half of what was coming in was getting sold, and on multi-units, about a third. And mm-hmm. now we're at condos, what's coming in is going out, almost. And almost the same on multi-units. What's coming in is what's going out.
Yep.
And we've gone to what's half on single families, what half of what's coming in is going out. And a lot of the reason for that is the single family home deal would have been all this stuff right around Christmas to New Year's. So wow, those are busy active numbers. Wow. Mm-hmm. Good. And we ourselves have a few exciting scenarios. We have a couple of interesting off-market properties. One, a number actually, kind of stuff that where we have sellers who are interested to sell before their time. They're ready to go on market later in the spring. And some cool development. We've sold all of the units in, and now we're selling some of them for multiple times. So there's 4 single families in a development off of Piedmont Avenue, and we've got one there that's pretty. I really like those units.
You can't beat the location. I mean, and they're amazing units. They're what, only 2-3 years old now, or?
No, they're a bit more. They're like from 2016, so 4, 5.
Yeah,
5.
We sold them in 2017, right? So they weren't really lived in until then. But anyway, they're awesome. They're super swanky. They have killer roof decks.
Yeah, great views out to the hills. 3 levels of living space, very modern. 2-car parking.
Back from the street. They're great.
They're awesome.
Excited to have one.
And then we have our auction coming up for Dogpatch next week. We should definitely do, maybe we should bring, after next week, bring Daniel or Ben on the call here to discuss that process. And then I have to, our Mission Dolores place right now, that thing is sweet. 1992 15th Street. Amazing kitchen, 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in the Mission Dolores. So, you know, walk to,
Sunny neighborhood.
you can walk down to Dolores Street and you can go right to go up to the park, or you can go left to where I used to go for lunch all the time. Whole Foods. Whole Foods, I think, is losing money since I'm not able to go there as often for lunch.
Poor Whole Foods.
Poor Whole Foods. Poor Amazon. Amazon. I don't think they're suffering. I don't think so.
You're
I
fine.
think they're fine. All right. So where do we find us if anybody's in the dark looking for the light of real estate to understand what's going on?
Elevation SF on Instagram, elevationrealestate.com. You can find our YouTube channel if you search for us or Eddie O'Sullivan, and be sure to check out our blog too on elevationrealestate.com.
On elevationrealestate.com. I love it. Awesome. So that's a full disclosure Thursday. I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you for the, well, it'll be so, it goes by so fast. We'll be here lickety split. It's like we haven't even,
basically February. So
yeah. It's already February.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.